Hello and welcome to Sports Star Extras. My name is Amol Karhadkar. I have just returned to Dubai after watching and reporting the first semi-final of ICC Men's T20 World Cup between England and New Zealand. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, we all saw what happened. I would like to tell you that I have taken the long drive back to Dubai from Abu Dhabi, which lasted around 90 minutes. But my fatigue would be nothing compared to the pain that England will go through when they actually first drive down to the airport and followed by the long flight that they have to take back home. After all, it was so near yet so far case, something that the winners of this semi-final, that's New Zealand, had experienced a couple of years ago against the same opposition in the 2019 50 over World Cup final. I would like to just point out a couple of important points that stood out for me. Yes, Owen Morgan, the England captain, did admit that he did not think that his boys could have done anything wrong in the game. But yes, knowing that Morgan is one of the best captains in limited overs going around, for him to actually not point fingers at where they actually went wrong minutes after such a heartbreaking loss was understandable. But down the line, I'm sure everyone in England cricket will also realize where the game slipped away from them. I would just like to point out two factors that stood out for me. One is obviously we saw someone like Daryl Mitchell, who actually carried the innings through for New Zealand, and Moeen Ali, England's highest run getter in the match, who both of them remained not out. Both of them had not relatively, both of them actually had slow starts. And there was a time when both of them had to put their foot on the accelerator and ensure that they reach not just the fourth or fifth gear, but possibly seventh gear in F1 style, considering the pressure situation that the match was actually meant for. And that is where my point is. I just want to cite two instances. Let's start off with Moeen Ali. England batting first, end of over 14. Moeen Ali was batting 17 runs of 17 balls. End of the innings, Moeen Ali had 51 of 37. That means he added 34 runs in his last 20 balls that he faced. Look at someone like Daryl Mitchell, the New Zealand opener. He was batting on 28 of 27 balls at the end of the 12th over in the chase. Where did he end up with? He scored 72 not out of 47. That means he scored 44 runs in his last 20 balls, and that for me was as decisive a factor as the James Neesham cameo that everyone is deservingly raving about. Okay, that's point number one. The other point is obviously, despite England being touted as a title contender, the biggest problem area for the team heading into the semi-final was obviously its death bowling. Twice in the league stage had England been tongued in the last 4 overs. South Africa scored 46 runs of its last 4 overs against England, and Australia, despite losing 6 wickets till the 16th over, added 50 runs in the last 4 overs. What happened in the semi-final? England had to defend 56 runs in the last 4 overs. Yes, New Zealand had to score 57 of last 4 overs. What happened in the match? New Zealand ended up getting those 57 runs in 3 overs itself. They won by an over to spare. 6 balls is massive in a T20 game, which was actually in England's favor till the end of the 16th over. Chris Jordan, who was actually tongued for 23 runs, which kind of turned the game on its head, would obviously remember similar stories during his IPL exploits with Punjab Kings, not Kings 11 Punjab. And I think these two factors actually ended up having a massive difference between the eventual outcome of the game. I am sure none of us would be complaining about New Zealand, the nice bunch in international cricket, actually making it to their first T20 World Cup final. I hope you keep coming back to Sportstar to enjoy our views after the remaining two games of the World T20 or T20 World Cup and thereafter as well. So keep coming back to Sportstar. Do share your views. Thank you.